Ladies and gentlemen, the video game industry is not very well. Can we do a wellness check on the video games industry? Can we do a wellness check on Square Enix? Because they're about to post losses of $140 million. Losses. That's not good, is it? Not great. Not great. But remember, ladies and gents, the video game industry's fine. It's all fine. Don't worry about it, mate. It's all good. No, it's not. Anyway, hit subscribe if you're new, turn the bell notifications on, and please do give the video a like and a share. Follow me over on Twitter as well, at Missed Reviews. But let's take a look, shall we? This article I'll leave a link down below. Square Enix, the developer and publisher behind Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Star Ocean, Kingdom Hearts, Mana series, and more, has now announced it's going to expect a $140 million loss next quarter as it abandons numerous projects in development. That's not good. Why would you even greenlight projects that are things you're going to need to abandon to the sum of $140 million? Now remember, that's a $140 million loss in a quarter. So even their profits from, say, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and all this other kind of stuff isn't making up for the losses. Like, it's not balancing the sheet, obviously, clearly. I'm not trying to teach you all maths. You're not idiots. So the whole point of this is, I guess, is the thought process behind what they're doing and their company structure overall. I mean, $140 million as a loss. I understand that could just be one game, for instance, right? Video games are hugely expensive endeavors. Not Japanese ones, though. Not as expensive as Western game developers. They're really not. They are different. But $140 million can be just one game, for instance. But that means that the profits, the sales of their other games hasn't made up for this. So actually, it's more than $140 million if you're thinking about it from that perspective, right? The balance sheet isn't regulating itself. So that's actually really bad, obviously. But then also as well, I go back to the whole thinking, like, why are you trying to do games which you're abandoning? Like, that's not good either. So in a press release, Square Enix said, Square Enix Holdings Limited expects to recognise extraordinary losses pertaining to abandonment losses associated with its content production account on its books for the fiscal year ended March 2024, as detailed below. This could also, just throwing it out there as another train of thought, this could also just be a tax write-off. But for losses, I don't know. It's a lot. So the company then provided more details on the losses. Says, in light of a myriad of changes underway in the environment surrounding its groups, to revise the group's approach to the development of high-definition games with the intention of being more selective and focused in the allocation of development resources. As a result of a close examination of the group's development pipeline, undertaken in keeping with this revised approach, the company expects to recognise approximately 22.1 billion yen in content abandonment losses on its books for the fiscal year ended March 2024. 22.1 billion yen is approximately $140.2 million. That's crazy. Yeah, and like, I'm reading this, it is interesting because they're like, look, we had a close examination of what's been in the pipeline when we're taking into account our new approach, which is we need to be selective and focused in development of games. And that says to me that there's like a change of the guard potentially, or they thought that the pendulum was swinging one way and it's swinging another. Now, it could be respective of the industry as a whole, because obviously a lot of the industry's focus at the moment is, to coin a phrase, woke, right? Like, their focus is woke gaming. That's why we have all these narrative consultants like Sweet Baby Inc. and things like that. I didn't really think Square Enix was massively involved in things like that, hugely. But it could be that they saw an opportunity, what they considered was an opportunity in the market, to push that way. And then they've since seen the pushback recently, because it has been pretty major recently, and gone, no, let's not do that. Something pretty major has clearly happened in the development pipeline with their new approach and the scrapping of $140 million worth. So that's why I think, probably that as a perspective. It could be. I could be completely wrong, but it does seem like that's highly likely. So the press release concluded, The company is carefully reviewing its consolidated forecasts for the fiscal year ended March 2024 to assess the potential for impact from the above or other factors. Should revisions to its forecasts prove necessary, the company will promptly disclose the same. Interesting. So it could be even more, to be fair, and this is what we see here. Not good. Now it says this, it's unclear what games are getting scrapped, albeit as noted by ND Mayon, YouTuber and 4chan rumour detailed the Square Enix cancelled Stranger of Paradise 2, a 2D HD style Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest Builders 3, and Harvestella 2. So the rumour also claimed that Square Enix cancelled an open world RPG that was in development by Luminous. And you can see it here. I don't know. Rebirth sales are apparently 3.1 million as of mid-April. It's lower than expected, but the company's happy with the quality of the product and hopes that discounts and the PC release will drive sales further. I think a lot of this is exclusivity. Exclusivity is killing the video game industry. Like, I do think that genuinely. I could be wrong, but I think exclusivity. I mean, I play games on PC. I don't have a console. So if a game's not on PC, I physically will not buy it because I can't. What's the point? And I don't really want to buy a console unless it's a Nintendo Switch because I want to play Mario Kart. Anyway, interestingly, in a press release documenting Square Enix financial results for the 9-month period ending December 2023, the company revealed its HD game subsegment net sales for the 9-month period ended December 31st, 2023 rose compared to the same period for the previous fiscal year due to the release of Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered, Dragon Quest, Monsters, The Dark Prince, etc., etc. Of note, Square Enix did release Final Fantasy Rebirth at the end of February, exclusive to PlayStation 5, and it's possible its performance might have had a significant impact that led to Square Enix's decision, which is true. The company's not yet released official figures, albeit in Japan the game's physical sales are lagging behind previous recent releases, which is true, but I mean, people like it, the quality's there, you know, massively. But, you know, there's been a whole bunch of, like, I don't know, like nonsense controversy around it, or non-controversies around it. But there you go. I mean, you know, the video game industry isn't good. They need to crack down on all of this sort of unnecessary expenditure, because very clearly they're spending a lot of money where they don't need to. And 140 million worth of development. Wow. Those games that they're rumoured to be abandoned, I don't know if it's them. Unless it's them, but in a different context. And again, I still think it's that sort of refocused push. I believe they thought the market was going one way, so they maybe tried to just follow it, and they're like, ah, shit, yeah, can't do that now. But the video game industry is not great. It's falling apart. And AAA games are kind of dead now. You know, they release day one with a patch. They're fundamentally broken. People are sick of it. Why would you buy it? Obviously, some games, you know, don't factor into that, but large majority do. Let me know what you think, though. Be curious to hear your thoughts. Take care. Bye-bye now.